Hello everyone. So happy to see you all after almost 2 months. So finally we are back with our Future Scientist Meet chapter number 52. And here we got our young scientist Darsh Roy. Darsh Roy, who is a grade 6 student from HRNPS, and he is going to present on the topic world's fastest plane ever built. Okay. So before we get into our future scientist meet, let me introduce who we are. Who is Vaayusastra? What we do. Vaayusastra is a IIT Madras Pvt startup. Um, we are working. We are doing this educational research from 2018 onwards. Basically, we are creating a curriculum to educate children in aeronautics and aerospace from grade 1 onwards till college level. And we use this methodology, theater combined with aeronautics and aerospace, like a sugar coated knowledge given to children with the help of hands-on models. We made a bunch of students to start their own startup from the school level onwards. We made students to publish their articles, publish their books, and our vision is to build set of students who could become the decision makers of future space industry, not only for India, the whole humanity. So you see such students here, such presentations and all this future scientist meet. And I'm happy to present this future scientist meet chapter number 52. Darsh, the stage is all yours.
So thank you, sir. As Jago sir said, my name is Darsh Rai, and I'm going to talk about SR-71 Blackbird. So 7 minutes, sorry. I will. Sorry, sir. 1 minute. Sir, if you mind, can you give me some 5 minutes, sir? 5 minutes.
Yeah, of course. You take your time, Darsh. So till that point, we have a few book authors here, few entrepreneurs here. By the way, you want to say a few words? What you are doing now after your first book? We got Bhairavi's first book here. The mm, how to say? Moon's Craters, published by Bhairavi. Very what you are doing now? Till Darsh come back, let's have a discussion with. We have CEO of Aerospace now here. We have Bhairavi, the
Hello.
author of Moon's Craters. Bhairavi, what you are doing now? What's your future plans?
Sir, my future plan is to research about what our Hindu scriptures say about space, what they've researched in their time.
Nice. Even I do similar kind of research.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah, I can help you out.
Sir,
Yes,
mine is
sir.
now okay, sir.
No, fine. Okay. Thank you, Bhairavi. Rakshan, I'll come back to you. Okay. That's the stage is all yours.
Okay, sir. As Jago sir said, I'm going to talk about SR-71 Blackbird. This was a secret weapon of USA to win the Cold War. You know that when the USA was like having the war against the USSR, that time this was its trump card to win against the USSR. It is the world's fastest jet. This went at when 3 times faster than the speed of sound. It flew at a speed of Mach 3.2 with dual cockpits. So its purpose and design was in the late 1950s and the early 1960s. The Cold War was beginning to heat up, and the USA and the USSR were fighting against each other. One of the most valuable assets of the USA to keep tabs on the USSR was the U-2 spy plane. The plane flew extraordinarily high and was able to perform reconnaissance deep inside the USSR airspace. How the long-cheeked SR-71 Blackbird design helped the pilots go higher and further than ever before. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird is the fastest jet aircraft in the world, reaching speed of Mach 3.3. That's 3,500 kilometers per hour and 2,100 kilometers miles per hour, and almost 4 times as fast as cruising speed of a commercial airliner. The key elements of the SR-71 made this possible. The secret to the aircraft speed and agility is largely in its unique engine inlets, a duct where aircraft is brought into the engine. To handle dramatic changes in the speed and pressure, the air is slow to subsonic speeds before entering the SR-71 jet engines. The jet engine is made up of three parts: the inlet, the J-50 turboramjet, the Kandai ejector. The J-58 is made up of two types of jet, the turbojet and the ramjet. The turbojet is an active compression through a turbine-driven axial compressor. The ramjet passive compressor through inlet geometry and aircraft motion. Sorry, changes. The exhaust from the SR-71's jet engine create a diamond pattern. That's due to the extra thrust provided by the supersonic afterburner. This creates a successive as a diamond pattern. The SR-71 engine fly continuously in afterburner except when refueling. No materials were available at the time to build such heat-resistant fuel cells. Instead, they were designed to allow for leakage and would subsequently expand the heating of the aircraft, sealing the cracks. The one surprising fact about this SR-71 is it has no fuel tanks. Yes, you heard it right. It has no fuel tanks. Instead of fuel tanks, the plane circulates its fuel underneath through the outer skin to keep it cool itself. The heat away from the pilot and recon of so fuel was a top concern for designers. The plane's leading edges got to 600 degrees Fahrenheit on regular flights. In the inner tanks that would get around 375 degrees. To reduce the possibility of an explosion, a unique mix of jet fuel with a very high flash point was created. This was known as the P7. At a fuel velocity of Mach 3.3, the Blackbird's surface heated up to temperature of more than 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Flying more than 3 times the speed of sound means that the aircraft had to withstand heat. SR-71 generates 316 degrees Celsius, 600 degrees Fahrenheit temperature on its external surfaces, which are enough to melt the conventional aluminum airframes. That's why the SR-71's external skin is made of titanium alloy that shield internal aluminum airframe. The metal is so strong that conventional machining process had to be retooled. SR-71 actually helped to build the Blackbird. So say that USSR is actually the main producer of titanium. The airplane is made out of 90% of titanium. Back then, when building the airplane, the US didn't have any ore supplies and ore called the rutile ore. It is very sandy oil and is found only in very few parts of the world. And as I said earlier, the major supplier of the ore was the USSR. Working with third world countries and bogus operation, they were able to get the rutile ore shipped to USA to build the SR-71. The CIA created several cover-up companies which were used to purchase the required titanium for the construction of Blackbirds from the Soviet Union. The top speed is limited by the engine temperature. The speed limit for the airplane, ironically, is nothing to do with the airplane. It's to do with the engine. Right in front of the engine was a temperature probe. When the temperature is around 427 degrees Celsius, 800 degrees Fahrenheit, that's as fast as we were allowed to go. The makers of the engine, Pratt and Whitney, would not warranty or guarantee anything beyond 427 degrees Celsius. After that, all belts were off The engine could come unplugged or you could be shed in turbine blades. One major problem of this was leaking fuel. Even on titanium, the heat caused a major expansion during the flight. The surface had to be corrugated texture, which allowed the metal to expand vertically and horizontally. Had it been smooth, the metal would have split or curled. Since the metal expanded so much during flight, the panels that made the outer skin were loose fitting when cooled. The gaps are so significant that jet fuels leaked out of the plane when it was fueled before takeoff. The plane was purposely designed to leak fuel. The fuel tank on the skin of the airplane. If you wrap on this airplane, the fuel tank is on the other side. There's no internal fuel tanks because of the expansion and contraction cycles during the heating and cooling of the aircraft at different speeds. It sometimes leaked and dropped from underneath the plane. It was measured during drops per minute, DPMs. We called them, and maintenance used a stopwatch and counted them. And in certain locations on the aircraft, there are acceptable and unacceptable trips per minute. As you can observe in the wings, you can see the fuel is leaking. This blue color thing right here is the fuel. This caused critical fuel loss. Due to critical fuel loss, the airplane had to refuel immediately after takeoff before it could even continue its mission. Quartz windscreen. Simple things like window screen needed to be redesigned from scratch because of extreme environment. Because of that plane being so hot, they could not use normal metal. They could not use a normal glass. The windshield, but instead it was made of quartz and was ultrasonically welded to titanium frame. Since standard adhesion was just milled, the windscreen reached a temperature as much as 600 degrees Fahrenheit. The tires of this also very special. The tires, which retract to wings during the flight, also had to keep from melting. Due to create the tires, latex was mixed with aluminium and filled with nitrogen. The tire pressure on the SR-71 was 415 psi, for 10 times more than an average set of car tires. You can see special tires which are and it has three different nose cones. Nose cone attached and three different cones were used to different purposes on the SR-71. One cone was meant for training and didn't have any expensive material inside of the nose, just which is similar to a real machine. One cone housed the radar unit, and another cone housed the optical bar camera. The survey of the Earth in massive proportions. This interchangeably gave the US flexibility on the ground, depending on which mission was needed. These are the three different nose cones, as you can see in the diagram given here. The spy camera is one of the famous parts of this. The large optical bar camera held inside the nose cone during the photo recon missions was referred to as the country's camera. This machine took a photo 72 miles wide, about as wide as the entire state of Vermont. The optical bar camera was produced by IIT and was also used in other aircraft like U-2 Dragon Lady and the A-12. Part of the nose cone designed for this camera had a glass strip on the underside of the nose cone that allowed the camera to look below the images. This is a picture of the country's camera. The spy camera, also known as country's camera, was the SR-70 spy equipment allowed it to survey 100,000 square miles per hour of the Earth's surface at an altitude of more than 80,000 feet. It made a 2-mile long film. The film inside the SR-71's camera was 5 inches wide and 2 miles long. Once SR-71 returned to the base, the photo maintenance division removed the film and cut it into 500-foot segments. From there, they would put on surgical gloves and go up and down the lines, inspecting this massive roll of films for cuts, tears, or scratches. This was a time consuming process that had to be done correctly, or else the entire mission may have been for nothing. This is a picture captured by the SR-71. The pilot total 86 pilots flew reconnaissance missions on SR-71's Blackbird. To be selected for the SR-71, pilots had to be considered among the best of the Air Force, and due to the altitudes they had to undergo the same rigorous physical training and examination as NASA's astronaut corps. This is like almost insane, as you can think. Like NASA's missions are like all to get selected. It's like to fly the SR-71, you have to go to the same process as going for space. If you think this is just insane. Pilots also needed special protection to fly the aircraft and were the outfitted with air pressure suits, helmets that provided pure oxygen. As you can see in the photo here, this was the uniform they used to wear. So let's just have a brief summary of everything that we have done till now. To provide intelligence using cameras and electronic listening devices, was able to fly at Mach 3.3, 2,200 miles per hour, or 3,530 kilometers per hour. Designed and built in 1960, the SR-71 was revolutionary, pioneering stealth technology by reducing its radar profile and heat emissions. It flew high as well as fast. Its maximum ceiling was 25 kilometers, 15 miles above the sea level, was so high that the pilot could see the curvature of Earth. The SR-71 was taken out for service in 1990s. Its reconnaissance role is now undertaken by satellites, as no other aircraft can match its abilities. The closest missile to ever an SR-71. Though hundreds of missiles were shot at SR-71, the Blackbird was just too fast, and jamming technology was too sophisticated for one to ever catch up. So till now, the SR-71 has never ever lost even one single plane to an animal fire. The jamming technology used in SR-71 essentially denied the missile from receiving any updated information from the Blackbird. Once the missile was jammed, the SR-70 used its breakaway speed to create a gap and couldn't be closed. The closest missile to ever got was 1.5 miles from an SR-71. The US force retired from its fleet in SR-71 on January 26, 1990, allegedly because of decreasing defense budget and high cost of the operations. The reconnaissance aspect of SR-71 could be performed cheaper and often by reconnaissance aircraft and satellites run. As you already know, the fuel leaking problem is one of the very a very big problem for it, and also this for making this only it was a very big problem, and so they decided to make they're designing a better aircraft known as SR-72. It's also called the son of the Blackbird. It's scheduled to enter service in 2025. The SR-71 is the advanced unnamed SR-71 based on stealth aircraft being developed by the Lockheed Martin for the Indian Air Force. The plane can reportedly touch the Mach 6 speed, which will make it the fastest in the world. Further initiated, the Mach is the speed of sound, 1,200 km, and Mach 6 means 7,200 kilometers per hour. You can just think how fast this will be. Just think. Arthur, thank you for listening and thank you for your precious time. Please, uh, feedbacks to me.
Thank you so much, Darsh. So, audience, if you have any doubts, you can ask Darsh. It's about the supersonic
Aircraft.
SR-71 Blackbird. And any questions?
Not a question. I just want to appreciate him for coming up with one of the more. This is a very, very interesting topic. This presented excellently. Good job, Darsh. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, player. Thank you a lot, Rakshan. Thank you.
Anyone know?
So,
Dash, it was well done. Dash, I loved the presentation most.
thank you.
It had more information about the SR-71, the 71. Actually, I was also researching about this plane, and suddenly you came up with it. So I was thinking, let us talk with him.
Nice.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you. So, what like
Where are you?
Very nice presentation, Darsh. It was very
Thanks.
interesting.
Thanks, Bhairavi. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your precious feedbacks. Thanks all.
Okay. So maybe to add additional info, those who are wondering what is supersonic, what is sonic or not, maybe quickly let me show like how to find what is supersonic. Just search Mach number. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Just search Mach number NASA. So it will take you to a link. grc.nasa. It's like there's like STEM education thing for children. Where here you can find what is this Mach number. It is the object speed to the speed of sound. Right now I'm talking to all of you. At what speed my voice reaches you? It's around 340 meter per second. So anything that flies faster than this speed, this 340, 335 to 345, we call it as supersonic. Anything that flies slower than this speed, we can call it as subsonic. Something which keeps switching to subsonic and supersonic, you can call it as transonic. Anything that flies 5 times faster than the speed, we can call it as hypersonic. And in the same link, you can find a small calculator to find the Mach number. Not only for Earth, and also it's there for Mars and Moon. And according to the height, the speed of sound varies. And Mach number, it calculates the Mach number. For example, if I'm putting the altitude at 1,000 meters, say okay, 7,000 meters, say 7 kilometers, and the speed of the aircraft is around 500 meter per second. I'm just going to compute. You can see the speed of sound reduced to 312, and the speed is this, and the Mach is 1.6. That's actually greater than 1. So that is supersonic. I'm just going to copy paste this link in the chat box for the audience. Maybe live, that you can put this on live.
Okay, sir, I copy this thing.
Yes, okay.
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, I put in live that.
Yes, live feed. There's a comment box. You can live chat.
Yes, 1 minute, sir.
So this is a small thing that maybe children can go through. It will be a little interesting to.
Sir, sent.
Super. Okay, that's a small information from our side, from Jaggu. Okay, so let's continue to. Any quiz there, Darsh? Did you make any quiz?
Sir,
Okay.
I not had.
Okay. So let's. Okay, Bhairavi gave a small talk. She want to do research about Indian manuscripts. That's yet to be decoded. And Rakshan, what's your future plans? What you're doing now? What's happening in aerospace now? Any updates?
Yeah. So, hello. Before that, just give a small, tell me who I am and all this. I'm not going to take much time. So, aerospace now is a MSME registered startup. Just for providing providing an insight about space science, that it is not actually what people think it is. It's revolutionary. So yeah, we're planning on presenting white papers as we have a set of theories, and it's probably a bit logical. So we've selected the best out of it. We're creating a white paper, and we're working on it. So I'm presenting these white papers to some organizations which take these things into account, and this might be some baby steps for us which can lead us into like a better future. So that's what we're planning.
Nice. Okay. Done. So we have one gamer here. We have one person, CEO from Infinity Space. Anish, what's happening with Infinity Space? What's your future plans?
Jagu, Infinity Space is in a break. Actually, like we are in a break. Then, like in a few days, we are about to restart
Mhm.
some energy thing, and like we are also gonna hire. We are gonna start hiring and so on. And like me and Ashwin, my
Yes.
fellow partner, like we have planned, and we are like almost we are like after hiring, we are gonna start presenting and present. So we have a list of presentations, like the topics for presentations, and we are waiting. We're waiting for hiring.
Great. Great. Where are we? What's happening in your company?
Sir, the same, sir. We're on a break because everyone has school
Yeah.
and we have to go with academics. But we're still having some meetings
Yeah.
monthly
Nice.
to discuss about if we have any ideas on presentation.
Great. Super. So it's happy to hear. So we have all the CEOs here. Aerospace now, Infinity Space, Astro Infinite.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Done. Matesh, what's happening on your side? How is your company? Is he there? If you want to play some game, you can do it now.
Okay, sir.
So what's happening? Any future plans? So I'm regularly seeing him. He is coming to offline sessions, even by Ravi as well. By Ravi, Anish too. So they are coming offline. Darsh is in Bangalore. Action is busy with school. Like I think they're killing with a lot of academic stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Matesh, you can have a few words.
I don't know.
So he likes the so many pets. The moment he enters Vaayusastra premise, it's filled with cat sound and okay. Yes. Maybe hopefully you'll send on a few pets to the space.
Actually, I've done it, but it ended up horribly. They have suffered.
Which one?
So that cats and all monkeys.
Oh yeah, yes.
So that dog just died after a few
Yeah, in
days.
past it's all bad experience. Maybe
Yes,
one
sir.
of you could be the first successful person to carry pets to space. That will be a revolution as well. Yes. Because there are a lot of pet lovers here, no? And the space people, space scientists suffer due to a lot of isolation. If they have pets, that will be a big stress buster. But all this needs research. Yes. Nice. So thank you so much. I'm very happy to see all of you after months. Yeah. So we'll try to do it every week regularly. If one of you come up with a short 10-minute or 15-minute presentation, we can keep this thing going. Thank you so much. See you all. Do support us. Do share this children's work. So a lot of future scientists here who could change a lot of things positively. Yes. Thank you, Darsh. Thank you, Rakshan. Thank you, Bhairavi, Anish, Matish. Bye bye.
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 Signing off.